Hi guys, it's Teacher Josh and I'm back with another really interesting story. And this time it is about a crazy dude. His name is Captain John Voss. And this guy decides he wants to be the first person to sail around the globe in the smallest ever boat. So we're going to talk about that. Sailing Against the Wind is the title to the story. And this guy does it in a dugout canoe. Can you believe it? Of course, we just learned a dugout canoe is a canoe. It's a long, you guys can see the picture here. It's a long, skinny boat that basically is carved out of a tree. And that's exactly what this is. And then he just put some sails on it so that they could sail. But I don't think this thing even has an engine on it. Pretty remarkable. When we come back, we'll take a look at that. So let's talk about the article. We are actually in the Smithsonian magazine, and this is the January to February 2025 article, issue I should say. And this should be interesting. Let's go take a look at this wild man. He was actually called a madman by his fellow countrymen in Britain. Let's go check it out. All right, here we are. Here's the madman himself, Captain John Voss. He left aboard the Tilikum in Samoa. So diminutive, one Australian reporter wrote of the boat. Diminutive just means like insignificant and small. Here's what he said. One wondered and admired the pluck, perseverance, and skill displayed in bearing her across the 9,200 miles of trackless ocean. So, a few words here. Pluck. That just means like determination, okay? It means like the strength, the courage, pluck. It's a good word, pluck. We also have perseverance. Perseverance is your ability to continue on even in difficult times. And then skill. Skill. It takes a lot of skill to navigate across an area that large. Pretty amazing. So this guy starts off in 1901. Okay, turn of the century. He's a Canadian mariner, John Voss. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought he was British. He is Canadian. So he's from the country of Canada. A mariner is someone who sails out on the water. He's from British Columbia, and he takes this dugout canoe. It says modified dugout canoe. So that means he made some changes to it, modified. And he heads for Australia. My goodness. He's looking for adventure. And he takes this little vessel, and he's looking for a sponsor. And the sponsor, that means somebody who's willing to go with him. All right. Well, okay, hold on. A sponsor. What's a sponsor? A sponsor is somebody flipping the bill. So he's looking for somebody who will pay for everything. And he needs a first mate. He needs somebody to help him sail. So he finds a thrill-seeking Canadian journalist named Norman Luxton. Thrill-seeking. So what's thrill-seeking mean? It means just somebody looking for fun. Okay, likes to have a good time. So that's who this guy is. All right, so we learn a little bit about this guy. He's looking for a boat. He finally finds an indigenous whaling canoe. Okay, it's called Nucha Nulth. It's a 38-foot long, hollowed out cedar trunk. So this thing that's huge, 30 foot long. I mean, you guys can see that's a pretty long, skinny canoe that's been carved out of this tree. It's 38 feet long. And then he outfitted it. That means he put on sails. Here's the sails, right? Puts these big sails on here. And decking. Decking is, he put down some decking, the floor of the canoe. All right, you can see there's a little place they can shelter, stay out of the elements right there. And my goodness, Voss and Luxton, May 21st, 1901, they set out for the South Pacific. And they didn't have, so this is crazy. They only had a map. It was one sheet that charted the Pacific. They didn't have a proper chronometer, which is a way to judge positioning. So they're using a paper map, pretty much. And Voss, get a load of this, Voss couldn't even swim. That is crazy. It took 58 claustrophobic days to reach Fiji. Okay, so what's claustrophobic? Claustrophobic means you're scared of small spaces. So imagine, this is your entire living space. You're stuck on a boat, 2 guys, 38 feet, and you got this tiny little room. Well, it proves to be too much for his first mate. All right, so Tax Luxton later wrote about the account of the voyage that this guy Voss, okay, I'm not sure which one's Voss, but okay, Voss is on the left, this guy. It says I like these words, taciturn, kind of grouchy is the idea there, and surly, just kind of a grump. Kind of a grump and argumentative. That's kind of the idea of taciturn and surly. Funny words, right? So anyway, Luxton decides to leave him, and he ends up finding a new first mate, and he continues on his journey, and it's pretty amazing. He actually makes it back to, it says, early 20th century, small vessels. Okay, so they didn't usually venture off the shore like that. Anyway, he ends up making it back to British Columbia, and he earned the reputation, all right, everybody knew him as a madman, all right? He was kind of crazy for even trying such a thing. I mean, the guy can't even swim. He's called an individualist and a survivor. What's an individualist? Well, an individualist is someone who just likes to be alone, and a survivor is somebody who stays alive, even in extreme situations. All right, so very cool. Really an interesting story about an explorer and mariner, John Voss. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.